Hello and welcome to the 31st, I think, episode of building a 2D game in Flutter. I'm showing here that actually this also works in the browser. We saw this before, so this is a website here. Make sure to go there and visit regularly to see updates. As you can see, the web version has problems. We already talked about that with the garbage collector. But we are still not multiplayer. We are working hard on that. As I mentioned in the last episode, the first thing we'll do is some homework. We'll basically pull in um, some analysis options file that I have still from another project. And once we put that in, most likely we'll get, let me see where I have to actually put this, just I think in the root of the project. Yes. So once we do it, we might actually get some errors that we'll fix. What was it called again? Analysis options.yaml. Okay. So you might get some problems that we need to fix immediately, which will take a little bit of time, but it is definitely worth it because after that we won't run into so many runtime errors anymore. So we're turning on strong mode. And now you can kind of see that we're already getting some errors. So what we'll do, we'll fix some and then we'll disable some. So missing return type. All right. Let's see. Sprite sheet. What does it? Sort cost. Okay, I hate that rule. No, don't hate it, but it doesn't make sense. I like to have my fields first. So let's actually go into and change that here now. Options. So let's remove that. Now we shouldn't have the problem anymore. Then we need a void turn type. It makes our code a little cleaner, but also it makes it, most importantly, it will catch errors earlier. So what's the problem here? All right, missing parameter type. This is double. By the way, what I just remembered. Okay. We did not create a code start and a code end. So let's see. So we have to tag this with the previous episode. Totally forgot about that. So I'm doing that now. So yes, git tag episode 30 start. And then we'll see what we'll check in. Hopefully we can still separate it out a little bit. So this one obviously didn't work in there. We did work in the game loop. Let's see. The arena we put in here as well. So we did do the arena. We need to check in the client, the game loop, this one. Levels we changed. This one all we need to check in. Simple, that's the level. And that should be all that need to commit. All right, so let's just say gRPC creating arena and sending to client on play request. That's pretty much the gist of what we did there. Most likely we should probably create more commits than just the few we have, even doing the one episode, but it's probably fine. So now we can tag that as episode end, and then we have, oh, actually that's me. That was wrong. It was supposed to be episode end, and then we'll tag it also as episode 31 start. And I'm doing that in some cases I might do some work in between, so then I don't want anyone to get confused between the start and end. Okay, so now we got that. Now let's keep on going here. So that one is a double, as we said. Still confused. Avoid defining. Well, I typed wrong. Avoid const keyword. So okay, let's just be clean there. Once we clean that up once, we never, like, it will just be almost Yeah, so what do we do instead? Yeah, I don't like that warning. So we'll just turn that off. Mm. Okay. Okay. Well, we can do this. Actually, no. No, I don't like. I don't like it. I don't like to do this in general, but in some cases, it makes sense, and it doesn't usually introduce errors. So what kind of warning is this actually? Parameter assignment warnings. Okay. Parameter. All right. So now a bunch of those should go away. And now this is basically not even our code. Okay, I don't care about that at all. This is in the doc comments. Oh, here we had it. No, there's more doc comments. Okay. Okay, let's figure out what that actually is, so we can find it. Comment references. Okay. All right. So now those are gone. Prefer int literals over double literals. I mean, we pulled this in, and I actually do. Actually, if this takes a double, I prefer to put the double thing. So to kind of make clear what the type is. So I'm not int literals. I'm not a huge fan of that. So that one we need to fix. How many of those do we have? They're all in here. So what we'll do is we'll suppress this for the file. If it would let me. And we'll just put that everywhere. I don't want to fix those errors, but I do want to keep it for the rest of our code. What's wrong here? To use curly braces for all flow. I don't agree because some of them have one-liners, and I want to decide myself when to use curly braces. And also, like we can see in this code that we actually pull in from Dart. Okay, how can I? Okay, so I need to find a way to disable this for the entire file. Exclude. Okay, so we'll just basically everything we did in here, we just don't fix that at all. We just keep it as is, and we'll just exclude it from all analysis options. We also need to exclude the generated files as well. So first of all, we need to exclude was it a string? Okay, so we need to exclude lib. Actually, let's copy this out. So we have this one. We just copy the relative path. Go to root. Okay, and then we go back here and put that in there. And then we'll also have to exclude the generated stuff. So that's here. That's not even in lib, so it might be actually not. We'll see if we get errors in there. If we do, then... Hold on, I just excluded it. Is this not working? See, if you also get all these generated things, so we actually also need to... It seems like we can't exclude things. Let's figure this out. We need to. Otherwise, we can't use the generator at all. Seriously? This is all in generated code. It looks like we excluded this guy successfully. I mean, in the worst case, I'll list all... No, we didn't. Why is this not working? They did it like this. So maybe that's what we'll try. I mean, even though it didn't work for them, but at least something we can try. Instead of doing it this way. These are like not fun parts of programming. But unfortunately they are part of it. So I mean, I hope it would tell us if our definitions were like had an error in it, right? I mean, you would think so at least. Or maybe it has to be in the linter part. Okay, now it seems like... Oh no. But it seems like the first one went away. Okay. So it seems like this dot geometry thing went away. Okay, so... But let's keep fixing the other ones that we have here. So we're using this in some places where they're not really necessary. If we're using mixins, no, I don't really think so. I don't think I don't understand that rule. So I'm just not going to use it unless it causes a problems. Using so let's look for mixins. Okay. Cascade. Okay, let's do that. So what we need to do here is do dot. Is that what they would want? All right. Try annotate public APIs. Okay, fine. See, like our code is actually improving a lot just by fixing all these. And these are not even errors; these are just warnings at this point. But I think it makes our code more readable. Okay, for each. Let's see what that would look like. It would look like bullet dot for each. No, I don't like that. Use for each. Prefer for each. I don't prefer for each. Let's see. So basically what they want us to do is do this. All right. So that looks a little nicer. It's not such a huge deal. It just groups it. I like the fact that it groups the code like this. So I kind of like it. So let's just do that. Okay, so now we still have. Oh, we still have this again. We still have this. So why is this still happening? Why is this still appearing? Maybe if I put it here, it will work. I don't understand. Let's just see if we can just get one to work. Or maybe it has to be inside the lib. Maybe that's what it is. Nope. Still have. It says lib generated, right? That's how it looks at things. Hold on. Did that not work? Looks like the generator is not coming up anymore. Okay. So let's tread really careful here and make sure, because I think what I did dot geo. So let's see, maybe let's see if that works now. Yes, yes, okay. I'm not going to touch this now. I'm going to leave it exactly as is. I'm afraid to touch it. It works now, and this is awesome, because otherwise it would have been totally unusable, because we would have had like tons of warnings all the time that we don't care about. So what's going on here? Prefer function declarations over variables. Well, I mean, so if I add a type annotation, and I kind of maybe prefer that. Hold on, this is confusing. All right, so let's just fix those. Okay, so we'll do that once. Our code will be so much cleaner, and then we'll keep this turned on, so we are not, we don't have to do this all the time, right? So we cascade. Actually, here I don't like to cascade, because I want the canvas save on a separate line. Can you please not make me cascade? Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go through the ones that make sense. We'll fix the ones that make sense. Yeah, I don't want to, like, basically this is kind of like, it's all together here, right? I don't want to, this needs to be together. I don't want to cascade it with this. That doesn't make any sense to me. So what we'll do, we'll turn that off after we're done, but we'll fix the ones that make sense. Make that const. This makes sense to put together, right? I wish there was a thing where it says fix it automatically, but you always have to do it. The cascading one you always have to fix by hand. All right. Don't want to use this if you don't have to. Use collection literals. All right. This is the same story where I don't want to cascade. I may want to cascade these two because they kind of belong together somewhat, but I do not want to cascade with that one because that's like kind of like, it's almost like I have, right, I put a thing around it. Well, actually that's nice. So maybe that's what we'll do, right? Because this clearly denotes that this block is operating after we save the canvas, and then we'll restore it. So actually that's how we can fix the warnings as well. So every time we have this, we'll basically put a block like this. Yeah, obviously it doesn't work for this one. So I don't know what we can do about that. unless we do this. But we want to kind of separate this out. We say we save the canvas and then we restore it over here. So that's kind of nice. So collection literals. So yes, if you are getting bored of this, watching this as a video, you might want to scroll a little ahead. This will not be too much fun, but it's something that we'll have to do in order to not lose control. Well, it's not losing control, but we don't want to keep getting runtime errors, and we want to kind of keep our code somewhat clean. So that's why I'm doing this now. Avoid async functions that returning void. I guess we can move the async here. No, we can't. So then explain to me, how am I supposed to do it? Am I supposed to use a future? I guess, I got it. Yes, I'm supposed to use a future, like I just said. Okay. Private field could be final. Okay, let's make everything final that we can. So that's cool. So now we can always err on the non-final one, and then the analyzer will tell us where we can actually make things final. So this one, it wants cascade. That's fine. So let's see how many more of these do we have. It's not that many. Don't rename. What? Oh. Don't rename method parameters. So if remove this. What do you mean? Oh, because this one is called request. Okay, fine. Let's just keep it that way. That makes sense in most cases. And here it might not make too much. So here is this generated code. Why do we get these again? I don't understand why this is here. We told it to ignore things, and it did in most cases. That is really weird. Okay, what is it named here? I don't even know what it's called. It's an event stream. What did we name it in the proto? Yeah, plain client event. I mean, is it also request? Okay, I'm not a huge fan of this, but in general I am agreeing with it, so we'll just do that too. It's not a big deal. With strings are okay, so with strings are allowed to compose strings. With string buffer to compose strings. Yeah, we're just calling this on. We're just calling this when we're kind of debugging, so it's not a huge deal here. It's not really running when the game is actually running. So I'm actually going to disable that for now. Use strings over buffers. Use string buffers. Okay. Type unintake public. Okay, we can do that. What? All right. Prefer const. Oh yeah, that's fine. Unnecessary parentheses can be removed. Okay, fine. Oh no, I want to actually remove it. I'm fine with removing it. It's not a big deal for me. Make that a future. So it's basically forcing us to kind of be really good and correct about things, which is good. Literals. Cascade. So this one again is one of those where I need to have it just like this, but then I can still make this like that. All right, cool. And now we just have this one stupid error here that's coming from our generated code, and I'm not sure why it's still happening. Oh, and there's an ignore for file. See that? What if I remove that? Okay, so basically this somehow doesn't get. Oh, this isn't lib generated. Hold on. Let's go to our analysis. Lib generates. We want to ignore everything, right? What if we added specifically here? See if it goes away now. I think why it's getting included is because it has that line in there, and so it actually turns on. No, I don't understand. No, this is actually. Oh my. Oh, look at that. It's all in the same file? Oh, so basically all these files are not getting ignored. Or something. Let's look at this. I don't know. So what I'll do is I'll put this on the next one. And obviously this is retarded in a way. Sorry for the language, but if we have to keep doing this every time something got regenerated, that's definitely not a way to do this. Okay, now this is too long. Okay, let's put it here then. Okay, now everything's happy. I mean, I'm not sure. We're gonna see about this. We don't have to fix everything at once. It's annoying, but in general, now this should work. Okay, so this will be somewhat of a huge check-in. So let's actually close this to see a little more. All right, so yeah, we fixed a bunch of things. So basically, style, we can say adding analysis, options, and fixing errors and warnings. Okay, so now we are in a better place with that. That's good. It was worth the effort, trust me. It's not fun. And we did it too late, and that's why we had to fix so many things. We want to actually make sure, though, that our app is still working. So we didn't hook up the server yet to our client app, so this is a good place to actually try if this still works. So, oh, hold on. Yeah, I'm sitting here and waiting. We launched the server. That was not the intent. We want to launch the Flutter app actually. I was waiting for something to start up, and like it didn't, because the server was already started up. So could have waited there forever. But so we'll just make sure that the game still works, and then we'll start pulling in the. Then we actually really hook things together, right? Because right now we still have our client and server stuff kind of isolated a little bit because the actual game doesn't use it yet. So let's just see if everything still works. All right, we can fire things. Beautiful. Everything's still the same way that it should be. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe make a release for this. Or maybe not. This is fine. We have one that you can kind of play with. It's not shooting, but it probably won't make sense anyways to release this as anything because you can't really shoot anyone. So we still have to fix that. Okay, so what we'll do here is we're going to go to our client. And we need to import this client. And so the level will be simple. So what we're going to do is final level equals simple. And now it should actually complain already that this can be a constant. Okay, cool. So you see like now as we're doing our code, we get all these warnings and we can just fix them right away. So instead of building a time map, why do we need a time map? Oh no, why do we need a time map? I remember we needed a time map for the game as well. Okay, well we'll figure that out later. Let me see. The game model has no time map. Okay, good. So that means, no, hold on, we're not in the game model. We were in the game. Let's go to the game model. It doesn't have a time map. Good news. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure of that. So we don't build the time map. That's fine. We don't create the model. Because we'll actually create our game model with what we get from here. So we got the client dot arena. And one thing is actually missing from this arena. We don't know where our player is. So what we actually need to have is a list of player positions. Sorry, a tab position, but it's basically the player positions. But it may not just be, we need an ID there as well, right? But actually, let's step a few steps back here. Let's just not do this yet. Let's keep our game running. And what actually we need to do in the time map, we need to now tell it where the players are. So right now we had in the time map one player. But basically, we need to have multiple players. So I think what we'll do is we'll have all kind of numbers. Let's do up to 4 players for now. Okay, so we have up to 4 players. And so the time map now can express where players are. All right. So then it would basically give us a player. And so now what we'll do is, for instance, we have a player here, and we'll have a player here, and whatever, right? So those are like basically the starting positions of the players. Okay. So now what we can do is we can say in the level, right? In our levels, timer for level, timer build. Okay, and then we have in our level we're going to have the most players. One could be here, number 2 would be here, and that's it for now. So we'll have we have different levels that have different amounts of players. Let's just say that. So actually, let's say that player 2 starts all the way up here. Fine. Now, actually, what we can do, we can run our time map and see if that still works. All right, so hold on a second. I want to see what's the sample time. Oh, we're using this one. So we have a player here, 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 and here. Okay, so those are the players. The 4s are players. It's a little bit confusing. So the 4s, number 4, enum number 4 is a player. Okay, so this works. And obviously this should all be tests somehow, but we're playing a game for fun, or we're building a game for fun, so we're kind of failing on that front. We're not writing any tests at all at this point. But we also kind of want to kind of get this going first, get a minimum product out there, a minimum viable product, so people can play this, and then we can still add tests. Once I see that people are actually excited about this and playing this, obviously I want to make sure that it keeps working, and then I get around to testing. Especially since I work for a company, Cypress.io, which builds testing tools. Okay, where were we? We got now the players. And in our arena, actually, we need something more like player positions, but it needs to be by... So we get an arena. And so the player gets an arena, right? Each player gets his own arena, in a way. And when we pack it, we actually can pack it for a specific player. So what we'll... Yes, we'll do that, because... So we have it... Yes. Does it make... No, actually, you know what? We need to know... It's kind of confusing. We need the arena to give us the starting positions for all the players, right? So we'll have multiple players. The question is, do we need to basically identify them already? And I think we do. So let's look at the player model. There you go. So if you already pass player models with the first I know what. So basically what we'll do is we'll create the arena. But I don't want to include something in the arena that we don't send, because then it will become really, really unclean. So when we in the service, right, when we create our game, we create an arena. So actually, when we create a game, we need to actually create an arena instead. Right? Well, no, hold on. The game has an arena, hopefully. No. The playing client has an arena. Well, the game also needs the arena. Because otherwise it doesn't know where anything is. So we'll get to that maybe in a second. But basically okay, so for now, what we'll do is this. We don't worry about where the player is yet. The player will just render. We're just trying to get something to render. We have like 5 minutes left. So maybe we won't even get there. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to say tile map supporting multiple players. So what we'll do now in the game, we will for now not even worry about the players. So let's just get what we had here before. All right. We'll create a model from an arena. And we'll put that here. No, actually, I don't want the game model to know about this, even in Arena, that exists, because that's kind of like a server kind of thing. So Arena, actually, Arena should probably know. The Arena should probably know how to create a game model. So let's see. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have a method here. Let me move this over so we can see this better. So we're gonna have a method here that says game model init game model, right? So we will init a game model from this arena. So what we'll do is our game model is a new game model. And what are the things that we can already... We have the floor tiles. We have the walls. We have the rows. We have the columns. What else does it want? It wants bullets. Obviously, initially, where did we end up here? Initially, there are no bullets. It wants stats. So stats, we can give it. So stats are basically just and we basically give it the right. So when you get a fresh arena, oh no, but this doesn't even make sense to be per player. We'll have multiple. So basically, like these two things we won't initialize yet, and this one, there are no bullets. So bullets are there for everyone. So that's what bullet model. All right, and then we return that. Okay, so we init the game model in our main function. All right. And so we create a game from this. Now the problem is that this assumes that there's a player and all these things. So what we'll do is we just won't do anything on the update for now. We only want to render this. Okay, so basically now what should happen when we launch this game and like no server is running, it should fail because it probably can't connect to the server. So we'll try that, and no matter what happens, we'll call it a day for this episode. But we're making progress, even though we did a bunch of refactoring work and all these things, and it seems like we didn't add any features, but that will help us in the future. And I can see like things are coming together slowly. So you can see now that error connecting. Okay, so that's good. That's good, even though it doesn't look good, but it's good because that's exactly what I expected. So what we'll do, we'll launch a server, and then we'll try this again, and now it should be able to connect to the server. And ideally, it should render the arena. So we'll see if that works. And that's basically the first step where we are taking messages from the server or data from the server, and we're kind of merging it into our game model. So right now we are creating a game model from the arena. When the app is then running, we'll basically... Okay, connection failed. Huh. So it looks like we have a problem there. So what are we doing different than we do in the main method? Oh, it could be that we need to tell our Flutter game that it's allowed to connect. So we'll figure that out real quick. That's something we didn't try in our spike. Okay, so how do we add this? Okay, cool. So what we'll do, we'll copy this and we'll find that file. Run a debug profile entitlements. Obviously, we need to do the same thing for... Okay, so what is the difference? Oh, sorry. Let's make a little space here. True. Okay, so this is what we're missing. And just to be sure, we add this to the release as well. So let's open the release one over here. Okay, so the release one has even less things, but definitely we need to... actually, we might not need the server because I think that's for be able to debug. So let's try this now. Okay, I didn't want to kill the server, but let's just start again. And now let's restart the Flutter app. All right, without Googling this, there would be no way anyone would figure this out. Or at least it would just take a lot longer. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Getter update star was called on null. Okay, so when we create our app, basically what's happening, we're calling this one here. So, here we go. Game model. So let's forget about this guy for now. This is basically our little HUD display, right? Let's try to start this again. Tab position was called on no. Okay, so we're starting to run this prompt. Right? So basically we have the player here, and we're trying to render this player, and we can't because there's no player yet. So what we'll do instead is we'll just don't do anything, because we can't render the player yet. So we'll see if that works. And if it works, we'll quit, but we are out of time anyways. If it doesn't work, we'll just have to live with it not working for now. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so we got something. I mean, we got a lot of errors here, but we are rendering the arena. So I would call that a success. That was a goal for this evening, to be able to render the arena that was transmitted to us from the server. And we reached the goal. Obviously, we have a bunch of problems because there's no player yet. And in the next episode, we'll have to figure out how to create players, the initial ones, right? We need to place them in the arena. And or we may not, because we may just like update the client immediately with the position of the player once we have it. But definitely we need to change a bunch of things in the model. There are multiple players now. There are multiple stats, and the stats basically are not even coming from the server. So we'll have to like move things around a little bit. But in general, I think we are doing really well. So make sure to keep watching. Come back for the next episode, and I'll see you then. Thank you.